Be sure to check out my store for the stuff I use and templates at a low cost, and get my everything pack so you can have everything in my store at a reduced cost, less than $20 if you tweet it out. What's up guys, Qehzy here bringing you guys another tutorial, and today I'm going to be showing you how to design football kits or soccer kits in Photoshop. I did this project recently where I converted NFL teams, just made each NFL team their own football kit. Since the NFL has really bland jerseys and I like designing jerseys, and I thought I'd give it a go and decided to do this project, and it's been getting featured in some places. Copa 90 did a little thing on it and tweeted it out and stuff, which was pretty cool. But when they did that, I got a lot of people asking me how I did it and asked me to do a tutorial on it. So here we go. This is what that's going to be. So let's get right into it. So the first thing you're going to need is this template, this football kit template, and sadly it's not free. I had to buy this from yellowimages.com. Link will be in the description. It's like $15, which is pretty pricey. So if you want to do this, you have to like really have a want to do it. And I really like designing kits and stuff, or I did when I was like younger, and I really wanted to give it a go again, and I did this and I bought the template, and it's well worth it for me. If it's worth it for you, I don't know. You'll have to make that decision. It is pretty pricey. $15 for a template is more than I usually pay for stuff, but this is what you're going to need. There's also other templates that are more expensive, and you get all different views and stuff on different websites and whatnot. But yeah, so let's get right into it. So when you get this template, you're going to get the download, and it's going to be a TIF, .tif, and you can see it's like just a bunch of numbers in the name. But if you double click to open it, it'll open it in preview, or at least it did for me. So you want to right click and open with Adobe Photoshop, and then you'll get this. And the first thing you want to do is just what I did each time when I designed each kit was start with the body and then work my way down here, and then open the parts and adjust accordingly. So what I mean by that is you double click on the body thumbnail, and it will open a new layer or file, and you might get this if you don't have the font. I'm just gonna hit don't resolve, and here we go. So this was obviously a Brazil kit, and now we just want to change it to whatever we're doing. So I did a Nike kit for all of mine since the NFL is sponsored by Nike. That's why I kept the Nike sign. You could do whatever sponsor, bring it in, but I'm just gonna keep this Nike sign, and I'm just gonna go ahead and press Command U on that layer and bring the lightness up to 100 so it's white. And then here is the Brazil patch. You just want to bring in your own patch and line it up with this one, because if you don't, you might struggle to play around with it and get it right, which was a problem I kept having. So let me go ahead and find this folder of logos, and where is the Eagles logo? There it is, doing my favorite team. And then you just want to bring that in, size it accordingly, and you'll notice it's pretty decent sized. My first instinct was to make it smaller, and that turned out to not look real good in the final product. So we can go ahead and delete that Brazil logo, and then here's the number 3. So obviously you can either do a sponsor or a number or text or whatever you want in the middle of the jersey, or just have nothing. It's up to you. I did a number because the football jerseys or the NFL jerseys have numbers on the front, except for 1 or 2 jerseys I changed up. So you just want to get the text tool. You want it to be center aligned, and you can pick whatever font. I'm just going to get the text down first and put in a number. So number 5, and we're going to have to bump up the size. So is it like 100? We're going to have to do way more than that. 300, sure, that works. Let's line it up a little bit, make it a little bigger, like so. There we go, that's pretty good. And then we can delete that number 3. And now here, our template's sort of set up and customizable. I'll keep this font. This isn't a bad font. But then everything else here you don't really need. As you can see, it's just, I guess, sponsorship stuff. We're gonna go ahead and delete that. If I hide all these layers we're working with now, you can see there's a bunch of different colored squares and stuff, and this kind of shows as a template. So this green one is like right down the middle. These are side stripes. I'm getting a call from Bath, New York. Ignore that. So these are stripes down the side. This is where you'd want them to be located. This would be a stripe on the bottom. So that's what all this indicates. It's just like a setup for you if you want that. Like they're guides essentially. But I'm going to just recheck this stuff, and we're going to double click on this bottom layer and pick a color that we want. So obviously we probably want to do a color that the team is that we're designing for. So we just want to do a color overlay, normal, select the color, and hopefully I can select this green from the Eagles. There we go. And click OK, OK. And then you can just leave that layer like this, and then whenever you want, you can just come in here, double click, pick the color to whatever you need. Also, what I did, because I was doing 32 teams, so I was in this constantly, and then just to save time, you can see this is defaultly yellow. So on that layer I did Command U and bumped it up to white, since almost every team had a white jersey. So I could either double click and pick the color, or I could just check that and it will just make it white, and then I can check that back if I want the color. So that's just a shortcut if you're doing multiple versions of these. Now let me go ahead and save that. You want to save it before you come back over here to look at it, and you can see how it looks. So this looks pretty good. I might bump up the logo actually just a little bit because it seems to be a little too low. And you'll notice if I don't save it, nothing changes. If I save it and come back, it wasn't much of a difference, but it changed. But that was the one thing that I kept messing up, is forgetting to save and then not seeing exactly what it was. And I'm actually going to bring the number down a little bit and save it, and that should look good. Pretty good, not bad. Of course, we can then add stripes and whatnot. So what I did to add any sort of shape, which is go to the bottom layer, the color layer essentially, so this green layer, create a new layer, and go over here to the shape tools, and mostly you'll be using rectangles for the most part. If you do any other shapes like triangles or anything, I'd recommend doing the pen tool so you can customize it and get the shape you want. But let's go ahead and just add a stripe here. So you just have to add it down, and we'll keep it white, no big deal. And then we'll uncheck this background layer, and then we can line it up with one of these guides. So we'll just put it with this front one, we'll put it in the middle a little more, and then recheck that, save it. Boom, there we go, we got a stripe going down, that works. And you can see the guide on the shorts already, that this will line up perfectly with the stripe we just created. So that's why the guides are there. It's really helpful. If you guys want to create stripes, vertical or horizontal stripes, the easiest way to do it is to get the rectangle tool and create one stripe that's about the size you want. So say you want something like this, and obviously this is an example of vertical. I'm going to do Command J to duplicate that guy, bring him over and put it where you want it to end, so maybe somewhere like that. Go back to the original and duplicate it as many times as you want stripes in the middle. So if I want like 3 stripes there, I just do 1, 2, 3, and I think 4 might actually look better, so I'm going to do a 4th one. I'm going to select all of those layers, and I'm going to go to Layer, Distribute, and I believe Vertical Centers. Wrong one. That's you want to do Horizontal Centers, and it'll distribute them evenly across. And then you can see, usually you want the stripes and the gaps to be about the same, so the gaps are a little small. So I'm actually going to get the original one and bring it over a little more, and then select them all again and do it one more time, and boom, it'll fix it. It's really easy, rather than duplicating them and lining them up and getting the even space. And then you can just right click, rasterize all those layers, Command E to merge them, and then like set it to overlay, or pick the color overlay you want for them. But yeah, that's the easiest way. And then you can do it the same way the other way, doing horizontal stripes like so. But then after you finish with everything you want to do there, you can just click X, and that'll get rid of that layer, and you can just move on down. And I don't know why that's unchecked, but then you want to go to the left arm, and you can add whatever. I recommend saving any colors you want over here, or not really saving, but selecting the colors and leaving them over here. So that green we were doing, if I double click on this, I just want to go press the colors, so in this case press the white, select the green, click OK, and now that'll be there, and then I can just quit out of this. And when I go here, let me just check that, I can double click on this layer, color overlay, and then select that color, and then all will be good. You can save that and move on. And obviously you just want to keep doing that for all of these layers. And so you'll do the shorts. Each sleeve has its own thing. Each short half has its own layer, and then each sock has its own layer. So you just want to go through and do all of that. Then you'll get down to the parts, and this is pretty important. You don't want to forget any of these or kind of make the kit look stupid. So the first one is the collar, and you can see the collar right now is blue. So you can make that whatever color you want it to be. So in this case I'll do black, and that looks a lot better. And then the shirt cuff is the inside part of the sleeve. So you can see it's black on the outside and sort of blue on the inside. And this is something I kept forgetting to do, and so you might be able to spot different colors in my final Behance project of all the jerseys I did, or all the kits. So you just want to double click on that, select the black or whatever, and even though it's not a noticeable detail, it's just something you should definitely cover and not forget, or else it might bother you or bother other people who actually notice it. And you only really notice it with brighter colors. The darker colors, it's kind of squeezes on by. But then here's the shirt color, and this is like the inside bit. You can see there's a little sliver there and a sliver at the top here. And of course, if you have a different template, it might be a little different, but you just want to select the color of the kit. So again, we save that green over here, so you can just select that, and there we go. And then the shorts, now you won't even see anything here for the most part, but this really comes in handy when you do white shorts, because you'll see little lines go through this, and you just want to make sure you select white form. Like right here is the main one that sticks out. So if you have black selected and it's a white short, you'll see a little line and it just kind of looks off. So make sure you select whatever color the shorts are. And then again, the socks, this is actually the inside part of the sock. So right here and here, you can see the difference it makes there. And then the shoe, you can just make one default shoe, or make a shoe for each kit you make them different. It's up to you. I did a different kit for each team I did. You can do a different cleat for each kit period. But yeah, and then once you do that, you can, I have the background actually unchecked, so it's usually white, but I unchecked it and then saved it and then put it in a new Photoshop file and added a background and all that stuff. But that's essentially how you do this kit design, guys. For the most part, it just requires creativity to think of kit ideas and do something that's not basic. So a lot of my ideas were based on kits. Probably half of them were based on actual kits, and then the other half were just out of my mind, but I made, or like created by myself. But the ones that I did use influence on, I try to do my own thing and not copy them down pat, if you know what I mean. But yeah, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this tutorial. Hopefully it helped. Hopefully you guys can design your own kits and stuff. And be sure to tweet at me, at Qehzy, if you do use this tutorial and create anything. I'd love to see what you guys make. Subscribe for more tutorials. Be sure to drop a like on this video at 100 likes. If we get 100 likes, that would be great. Add my Snapchat, which is Qehzy, for exclusive stuff I'm working on and all that jazz. But yeah, guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.